What is business analytics? So simply, business analytics is using information and observations with math and computer tools to improve a business. Growing up in the 80s, my parents both had businesses. And over the course of the last just 20 years, since about the year 2000, there's been a lot of changes. But no matter what size company you have and no matter what industry you're in, there are certain things that every business has to do to be successful. The first of which is marketing and branding. You have to decide what kind of company you are and how you get your message across to consumers. The second is not just sales. That's the biggest mistake people make, is they put all their eggs into the sales basket. But the truth is, you need to have profitable sales. You have to look at your profitability as a company, which leads into naturally efficient operations. And now, people love Walmart, people hate Walmart, but the one thing Walmart always told all of its managers and store personnel was to manage their costs. In fact, Walmart always says that everyday low price equals everyday low cost. So managing efficient operations is important. Strong financials and cash flow. This is a biggie, especially for small businesses. At the end of the day, if you don't have enough money to pay your bills in the bank account, it doesn't matter how much money you made that year, that month, that quarter. Being consumer friendly and having a consumer friendly website is incredibly important in the modern era. After all, if people want to know more about your business, that's how they're going to engage. They're going to find your website, they're going to find it on their mobile phones. That's a much bigger market now than it ever was. And with that means favorable social media. People love to ignore social media because they think, oh, it's not important. But at the end of the day, if you aren't on social media, that's a problem, especially if people are talking about you in a negative fashion. Which brings us to being found on the web. It's very important to be able to be found easily and quickly. The majority of people never scroll past the first page of results on Google search, and the vast majority of those people don't go past the fourth or fifth item. So if you aren't top of the list, either in a paid ad or organic search, no one's going to search and find you in the fifth page of Google results. Sorry. And the last one, of course, is definitely looking at project management and company growth. And that's one thing you need to manage specifically. It doesn't just happen. So each one of these topics could easily be their own separate video, but I just want to give a few quick examples that help illustrate the point. So the first one I'll talk about is about social media and reviews. Now, it's easy to understand in a simple example like a restaurant. If you saw a restaurant review that said amazing, you might think, okay, that's pretty good. You might see someone says, can't wait to go back. You might think, okay, okay, that makes sense. Maybe someone likes it. But if you saw a review like, I recommend this to all of my friends, now that's the kind of review that you want to see as a business owner, because as a consumer, when you see that review, that's going to motivate you to go out and try that place, to try that product. This is the kind of thing that you want to see. Even though you can have all kinds of positive reviews or a high number, maybe it's 4.5 out of 5, all those are great. All those should always be important, but the number of views, a number of reviews like this one are the one that really matters to move a customer to your place. Although it would be easy to discuss efficient operations and profitability, I want to discuss efficient operations and the customer experience. So let's take, for example, a train and train station. Now, if you needed that train to get to work every day, would you keep going back to that same train station if every day it arrived at a different time or it got to your destination at a different time? And I don't mean like a few minutes, I mean a lot different, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Or worse yet, what if it would just stop running on random days? Eventually you would stop going to that train station because although you might tolerate a one-off or very occasional disruption, if it becomes consistently a problem, you don't go back. And it's not just you don't go back for a while, it's you don't go back, period. And this happens with businesses too. Businesses will have occasional disruptions, whether it's lacking supplies or low staffing, but when it consistently happens, it causes the problem of people not wanting to go back. And I think everyone who's listening to this knows of at least one experience they've had like this, and they've stopped going back to those companies. For me, it was a certain online delivery service that would always promise food there to be delivered in half an hour. And after an hour and a half, I'd give a call and they had no clue where their driver was or what the status of the order was. And I would say, okay, you know what? Just cancel. And to this day, I don't use that particular service. Last, and probably most important, I want to talk about consulting as an investment in your business and not as an expense. Although it can be easy to say, oh, I'm buying this service and I'm writing this check out, it's an expense. We have to look at the longer term picture. When my approach for any of my businesses has always been to look at a problem cost and see how much a problem is costing a business every month, every quarter, every year, and then to build solutions that solve those problems, thus giving you, in a sense, a paycheck for those costs that are fixed every month, every quarter, every year. In this respect, it's easy from my previous experience in the last 15 years to look at return on investments of 2 or 3 to 1. Now, if you're asking yourself, would you ever put down $1 and get $5 back? Absolutely. That's why it's important to look at consulting for any business, whether you think you're in trouble or not. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to visit our website, https://rochesteranalytics.com, or click the link below. I'd be glad to talk to you about how I can help your business grow.